All right, all right. Let's see if that fixed things. I believe I know what happened. All right. I did a sound check on my end. I know I just messed up the spelling. I messed up the spelling of Monday Night Late Chat. Whatever. I don't care. But it sounds like things sound correctly again. What happened was when my laptop died on the initial stream, it screwed up my USB connected soundboard, fucked everything up. We're back. WZF, late night. We're going free mode. I know, I misspelled the name. There's no way I can go back now to fix it. I don't care. Playing classic games after one of the worst, if not the worst after Raw show ever. Breed mode. I know I misspelled the name of this chat. I accidentally hit I instead of L. I was in a rush to get things back up. I ate chat. I ate stream. I know you did, Don Vito. I know you did. Nobody here yet. While there's nobody here, I'm running to the bathroom. I gotta go to the bathroom. Hello. I did a mic test. I listened on my tablet. It sounded right. Yeah, I should have done it. Should have done it before I started the last stream. What can you do? Live and learn. If the damn laptop didn't get unplugged, we wouldn't have any problems here right now. But hey, we got 4 people in chat. We're bouncing back. I know I killed the numbers with my errors tonight. That's all right. That's to be expected when we're in breed mode. Breed mode. Let me fix the conga. There we go. I fixed the conga, yeah. Yeah, I fixed the conga, yeah. And now the video looks like something. Now we're up to six viewers. Brie mode. So do you guys want to pick up where we left off? Throw names out and I'll tell you if I keep them or if I cut them from the WWE roster. Or do we want to talk about other shit? It's up to you. Oh my God. Got too quick with my trigger finger. Oh my God. And they've thrown the same pill out 800 times. Dolph Ziggler. I cut him. If you had asked me 7-8 years ago, I would say the guy has everything it takes to be a star. And some point around that time, I remember reading an interview with him where he said he likes being the guy that jobs. And clearly Vince was all right with that, ran with that, jobbed him out for long enough. And he was jobber for a while. Then he got that push for a minute. And then he kind of was directionless for a while. And aside from being used as a foil in the current Otis Mandy storyline, God, the guy feels so useless. And he is talented in the ring. He's mediocre on the mic. But I cut him. I'd cut him. Get out of here, Ziggler. Brie mode. Sorry, Malcolm, I screwed things up on that last stream. Humberto, he's young. I'd keep him and see what he can do, give him 2 years, and then make my mind up on him. He's young, so I don't know much about him. From what I've seen in the ring, he's not awful, but on the mic, he was nothing special from the little bit I've seen. Drake Maverick I keep. I love him. I was never a big fan of Rockstar Spud in TNA. But man, when he came over, they stuck him in as the GM of 205. And from the little that I saw of that, he was decent. Then they stuck him with the Authors of Pain for a minute, and I thought he was doing good with that. And then something happened where one of them got hurt, and they scrapped all of that. Personally, I felt they should have continued that and just had Drake fill in as the tag team partner. Obviously, they didn't do that, but then they stuck him in the 24/7 thing with R-Truth, and I absolutely loved it. That is where he fully won me over, and he should still be in that 24/7 hunt, uh, even with junk guys like Mojo and Gronkowski fighting over the belt right now or whatever. Drake should be in the middle of that. Like, all right, say Mojo is going to get pinned by Gronkowski, have him like throw Drake on top of him and pin both of them at the same time or something. I don't know. The dude has really won me over. He's creative. I follow him on Twitter. He's funny as heck. So I keep Drake Maverick all day, all day. I'm a big fan of Drake. Love Drake Maverick. And if you had asked me that when he was Rockstar Spud 7 years ago, I would have been like, "Are you crazy?" But no, he's won me over. Ah, damn it. EC3. Damn it. It's tough to read the comments and play Dr. Mario. Maybe I should have picked a better game for this. I like EC3 a lot. Another guy, actually, he was winning me over, what, 10 years ago or so? When they were using, fuck. Yeah, I'm going to give up on this, I think. He was winning me over 10 years ago or so when he was with his first run with WWE. He started developing this like creepy guy gimmick, and they pulled the plug on that. And I think it was because he got hurt. I might be wrong, but whatever. It got pulled. The plug. The plug got pulled on that, and then they were. I don't know. Do you guys remember the promos for that USA guy? I don't know if they were exclusive to YouTube or if they actually ran them on TV, but it was supposed to be Derek Bateman as this Extremo super proud USA guy. And those things were hilarious. And then he got cut before any of that could happen on TV. And he ended up going over to TNA and obviously doing great things. He's clearly a guy that Vince has signed just so that he won't go somewhere else and do what he did in TNA. And I would let him go. And I would let him go so that he can thrive. Thriving. I'd let him go so that he can thrive somewhere else. It's clear Vince doesn't give a shit about the guy. But let him go thrive somewhere else. TNA, AEW, whatever it is, wherever he wants to go. I got to think that he himself, I got to think EC3 himself is sitting and going, what the fuck did I come back here for? Because as a fan of his, I sit and say, why did he come back? I don't even remember the last time he was on TV. I think it was like December or something. He jobbed to some. Maxine. She was what? One of the damn it. Early NXT folks. She was hot. And that's all I remember about her. I definitely picked the worst game to play and try to chat with you guys. So Fandango. Fandango's another guy. After all of his trials and tribulations in the early years of NXT when it was a game show, Johnny Curtis, he started figuring things out. And then he got hurt. And then they repackaged him as Fandango. He came back hot. And I mean, I get where his initial Fandango run cooled off. But when he was repackaged and partnered up with Tyler Breeze, I thought that stuff was great. The Fashion Police stuff was really funny. Their YouTube segments were really funny. But yeah, in the end, now I don't think he's teaming with Tyler Breeze at all. He might even be on the shelf, but I don't think he's doing anything with Tyler Breeze. And again, I think he's a guy that Vince will keep around just to keep him from going somewhere else and thriving. But if it was up to me, I'd let him go and let him thrive somewhere else. If you're not going to use him, then let him go. There's so many guys on TV that or that aren't on TV, rather, that we never see, and you almost forget that they're there. There's no point in keeping these guys. Just to keep them so that they don't sign with other companies is petty. Let them go. Let them work. Yeah, so Fandango is currently hurt. That's what I thought. I wasn't positive on that. So who knows? Maybe he'll come back and they'll pair him up with Tyler Breeze again and let them do the Fashion Police thing in NXT. Is that a step forward or a step backward? I don't know. They were on the main roster. Their stuff was funny. Going back to NXT, how old is the guy? You know, some of these guys, you know, in NXT are pretty freaking old. Like, what's the point? I mean, if I'm in my mid 30s, I sure as hell wouldn't want to be on NXT. You know, you're competing against AEW and you are losing every freaking week. When there's the possibility of going somewhere like Impact, not working much, but getting paid well, because Anthem does pay well, or going to AEW itself and maybe, you know, having that creative freedom to thrive 5 pre-mode, and maybe stick it to Vince, stick it to NXT too, you know? Oh, there is Double Dragon. All right, I'll give it a shot. I have not played Double Dragon in probably 20 years, so I'm going to get my ass kicked. There is Double Dragon. Pre-mode. Oh, this is one of those games where you have to select to get to the mode screen. We need Bibby and Jimmy to save the girl. Bandy says he keeps hearing Bree mode very faintly. I don't know. I definitely haven't been saying Bree mode. Oh yeah, I'm gonna get my ass kicked. Bree mode. Run, bitch. Thumbs up. Move forward. Oh man, what are these? Twins? Chick twins? Bree mode. Tetris should be in the NES lineup. I agree. Though Fab One Bates Did you download the Tetris 99 download? It's free. It's not the complete game, but it gives you enough modes to play in. They're all online, I think. I've played it a few times. I do have it downloaded, but I picked it up. It's a version of Tetris, so whatever. If you haven't picked it up and you want to see it, let me know. I can play that next. Tetris 99. I think that's what it's called. Another pair of twins. Pre-mode. Got the whip. Bateman sold his Switch to get cigarettes. I don't believe that. I believe that Bates can get cigs cheaper than any of us. He probably gets them for like a nickel a pack. Putters cigarettes. Do you have Putters over there, Bates? Or Signals? Do you have Signals? You said you haven't. Does that mean you haven't gotten Putters or Signals, or you haven't gotten the Tetris game? Oh, man, this guy with a drop kick. Take that roundhouse, motherfucker. Oh, my God, it's Don Vito. Look at him use his retard strength. Oh, my God. Oh, no. Don Vito and his retard strength and a conveyor belt took me out. Fighting the Street Profits right now. You hate Putters? Yeah, I used to get them cheap at the local res. But I was not a fan of them either. They were like a last-ditch resort that I would pick up when the normal brands that I would buy were out. I forget the one brand. It was King Mountain. And it was totally, they originally had like knockoff Marlboro packs. And then they kind of modified it where it was still kind of a knockoff Marlboro pack, but the white triangle part was a mountain, a picture of a mountain, but the font was always totally like the same font as Marlboro. I don't smoke cigarettes anymore. I smoke a cigar or two a day. I take a few puffs off it and then I put it down and let it go out and then pick it up and light it again later. Tetris game next. Okay, I'll do that. Malcolm posted something, but in classic Malcolm fashion, he deleted his comment. I delete the most comments on WZF. Malcolm might be the number 2 deleter. That's cool, though. I'm all for post and delete shit if you don't want people to see it. Oh, my God. I believe in the post and delete. All right, I kicked that guy off. We got Eliminator Kane up here with a bat. Now I got his bat. I am so pumped that Eliminator Kane showed up tonight. I tagged him last night during WrestleMania. I've tagged him before, and I think Bates or somebody else has tagged him before, but he never showed up. And he was actually kind of chill. Like, the only time he started getting fuck you tonight towards people was when they were like, fuck you towards him. And it's kind of funny how many people have shown back up in the past few days. And that Lobo and Taker were able to get Pones back for a few hours there on Saturday. And yeah, what an epic weekend or 3 days of chat. While the WWE delivering was debatable, WZF chat delivered. And here we are fighting the Bella Twins again. Pre-mode. I thought he was Pennington too, but it wasn't. I initially thought it was, but I'm like positive it was not. His posts when Raw actually started up or whatever, and he was there. They were in line, and he was actually chill. He goes, "Can we talk shit about each other?" And I was like, "Yeah, as long as it's in fun, because that's all we do anyways. I mean, we all talk shit about each other, and I'm totally cool with that. You know, we all make jokes. I mean, I'm still laughing at Ultimate Rick running to the ring to save Mary Helen Clark. Remote. That shit was I was gut busting laughing last night. So I mean, we all bust each other's balls, and you know, I think we all can handle it. But I mean, I went over and checked at WrestleZone a few minutes after he kind of stopped posting on WZF, and he was posting over there, and he was, you know, obviously choke slamming the shit out of everybody over at WrestleZone and banging every single one of their mothers right in front of him, doing Eliminator Kane exactly as he does. Ultimate Rick is one of the funniest things ever. Totally. The only guy I've ever heard be like, yeah, 150-pound lady that's skinny. Pre-mode. Sorry. A lady that's 20 pounds, 25 pounds lighter than me is not skinny. Doesn't mean she's fat per se. Yeah, Paul E return. I'm fine with that. I mean, I unbanned him forever ago. That was just a minor thing. And I mean, I wouldn't have done anything if you hadn't brought the shit between him and Tegs to my attention dates. But yeah, I mean, I have no problem with him chatting or whatever at all. Tetris 99. Ultimate Rick. If there's a large woman in need of saving, put up the Ultimate Rick signal, and Ultimate Rick will run to the ring. Okay. I don't know if that's why Tegs left early or not. He didn't seem to say anything to indicate it. I mean, Raw's been shit. You know, and honestly, around when he left, it seemed like a lot of people dipped out. And it kind of has been the name of the game with some of these shit Raws that we've been dealing with. People show up, they try for a half hour or an hour, and you know their intelligence is insulted. We're not going to insult your intelligence anymore. Fuck off, Vince. Pre-mode. So I'm gonna stay on the side of Tegs. Probably just took off because Raw sucked. He had something better to do. They got into it way back in like November or something. So I just gave Paulie like a few day ban or whatever. And I told him, dude, chill out, you know, on the racist shit. Pre-mode. Never mind me, I'm having a sip of Canadian whiskey. Soothes the soul, warms the stomach. What are you talking about, Bandy? Mary Helen Clark is here. Can hear Bree mode. I don't know what you're talking about. Fab One is more of a rum guy. I've never been much of a rum guy. It's too sweet for me. Even mixing it, I'm not big into mixed drinks. I know a lot of people like rum and coke or rum and ginger. I can do a rum and ginger. I can do that. I like my whiskey straight or on ice or mixed with water. Tonight I have it mixed with water. I don't know if rum is too sugary for me or something. Never been much of a rum guy. I know a few of you guys are teetotalers, and that's cool. I totally respect that. Never been much of a rum guy. Definitely a whiskey guy. Every now and then, a drink of tequila is all right. Once in a blue moon, a shot of Jaeger is pretty cool. I used to drink that all the time when I was real young, but kind of grew out of that. But more of a whiskey guy. For a second, I thought Fabulous said he was a rim guy, quote unquote, Malcolm. Well, he's made that clear that he likes watching rimming videos, girl on girl rimming, and I'm not going to disagree with him there. That's good stuff. No, HCR twins. Was it you, Bates, that posted that picture of Nia laying down? I mean, oh my God, when I clicked view. And I know I commented, I've fallen and I can't get up, but that was my initial thought. She looked like she could not get up in that picture. She looked exhausted. It was you. That's what I thought. All right, so we'll try a game of Tetris here. If I don't reply right away, it's because it's Tetris. So what happens is they match you up, and I think you play against 99 other people, as the name of the game implies, or whatever. So I'm gonna get destroyed because there are so many people over in Japan that, I mean, are masters at this game. They play it 12 hours a day or something. Brain mode. Brain mode. Ultimate Rick. Yeah. So yeah, I don't know how it works, but other people fill up the blocks under your blocks in this game. Fuck with you. But you're playing against them online. You have no clue who they are. Oh, I'm done already. Jeez. Basically, Tetris Battle Royal. I've never played that one. I finished 81st. We'll give it another go. I've definitely played a few weird Tetris games. Way back in the day, I had the Virtual Boy, and there was some weird Tetris 3D or something for that. And I had that, and your opponent could screw with you on that, but there was obviously no online or anything like that. It was the computer. Ready, set, pre-mode, go. Pre-mode. Yeah. Right there. And bam. Doing better than the last round right now. Pre-mode. Yes. Tetris. Tetris. Pre-mode. Pre-mode. Doing really good this round. Oh man, I just had an idea. I'll float it by you guys in a minute. After this round. See what you think. Oh no. It's getting ugly. It's getting ugly. All right, I made it to the top 50 players. It's intense. I'm in the top 50 players. They keep adding blocks to my blocks. No. Yes. Staying alive. I'm staying alive like the Bee Gees. This is intense. I'm sorry if I'm not paying attention to chat. No, yes. Put her in there. Yes. Oh my God. Did you just see how many blocks they added to me? Not fair. I'm done. I tried to stay alive. Oh, wow. And it's over. What place did I get? Wow, 18th place. That's out of 99 people, 18th. That's pretty good, right? Bandy, I think you should do a live stream of La Noire next. Oh, you can't stream because it's on PS3. Well, I think you could stream because it's on PS3. I think you just need to find a conga, set it up in front of your TV, put your laptop on the conga, hit live stream, and let us watch you play La Noire. And I'm pretty sure Fab would agree with me on that. Give me a second. I need to go refill my water. Come back and I got a question for all of you. All right. So I'm going to wrap it up on Tetris here. Oops. Just because it's really tough for me to chat with you guys while I play with my setup here. I literally, like I said, I've got the laptop pointed at the TV, so I can't see your chat in on my laptop. So right next to me, I have my tablet. So, yeah, what I was going to ask was after I played another game or 2 or 3, had another sip or 3 of whiskey and get a nice little buzz going. Just a little buzz. We're not looking to get hammered here or anything. Do you guys want me to pull out my totally untuned acoustic guitar and play a quick ditty for you? So I'll put that out there. And I need let's see, we got 4 people in chat. I need 3 people to say, yes, I want you to play a ditty after a few games. NWO and Saturday Night Main Event segments were the highlights of the Funhouse match. I absolutely agree. I thought there were some other really cool throwbacks in that match, like the SmackDown Fist and the different outfits and Bray in the rocking chair and everything. So I thought that was all well and good. I thought LSD would have been the preferable thing to be on to watch the Firefly Funhouse match. And a little bit of sass would have been the thing to be on for the Boneyard match. I could sing an original. An original just for the WZF chat. Fab says yes. Got to get 2 more yeses. And I'm going to play a few more games before I do that, but for a little bit. Not super long, but a little more gaming. But I'll do that if we get 2 more yeses. Hannibal says yes, so we're up. All right, I only need 1 more. Fab keeps voting, but his vote only counts once. I know my guitar isn't in tune, and I'm not even going to tune it if we get enough votes. I'm going to play basketball. Gonna play a game of basketball. I think Bandy left chat. Do I know any Alice in Chains? Off the top of my head, I do not. And I'm not the best on their lyrics either. Mostly only know like their choruses. I mean, Rooster, I know. Lyrically. Oh, all right. I just saw your yes. Sorry, Bandy. We're back up to 5 people in chat. I'm going to continue my season in this game, which I was pressured into using the Mavericks by Bandy. It has not been the greatest season by any stretch. I'm in game 10. I think it's 15 or 16 regular season games before the playoffs. Pre-mode. Sean Bradley. I think I was using Derek. I started this season because of you, Bandy. Admittedly, I got to level up this team. Man, I've had a tough season with the Mavericks.
Holy moly! Take a look who showed up to the playground today. It is a true legend. There goes the tip-off.
Yes. Extra point for the first score. Mavs up 3-0. Oh, and they just hit a three. Get out of here. There we go. Taking it home. Pre-mode. Oh, I got blocked. I stole it right back. Nice. This could be the game where the Mavs put it together. This could be it. Nash to Harper on the breakaway. On this day, 2 years ago, you were in New Orleans for an NXT takeover. Good for you. Hopefully on this day next year or whatever, they can have WrestleMania the way it should be. I got to say, all in all, my expectations for Mania this year were at a all-time low, and they've been kind of low in recent years to begin with, but they were at an all-time low heading into this one. For what it was worth, it was entertaining enough. Not great, not amazing, nothing like that. But there was enough things that entertained me. Tonight was trash. I'm not even going to try and defend that. But the Boneyard match and the Firefly Funhouse thing, they were definitely a trip. I enjoyed it, and go figure. As soon as Matt Hardy's out of the picture, they go and they do something that's totally Matt Hardy-esque. I didn't think the women's tag titles match on the first night was that bad. And I know Bandy is a big Asuka fan and was pissed that she lost. Excuse me. But it wasn't that bad. And I thought Alexa, Asuka, and Kyrie looked great. Nikki, of course, looked like she needed to hit the laundromat. I agree with you, Bates, that Edge Orton was way too long. Totally agree. Won't even debate it. It went on way too long. And definitely that one shot or scene or whatever in the weight room where Orton hanged Edge with the workout equipment was very Benoit-esque. So I don't know how I feel about that. I think that could have been something that they could have edited out, especially when you consider all of the things that they've edited out or gotten pissed off about in years past, like when Daniel Bryan got fired for choking Justin Roberts with his tie because it was too much like Benoit murder scene or whatever. That could have been cut out. They could have shaved definitely a few minutes off that. I get that they were probably trying to really feature Edge as much as possible, especially considering the dude is only going to work, probably 4 matches a year. I get that you wanted to have him featured. I get that you were trying to take up time, but you could have thrown in a filler match, I guess. I don't know. Meltzer said Orton and Edge was the most boring match in WrestleMania history. I don't know if I would go that far. There were definitely some entertaining spots. I personally feel that more matches should have had like stipulations, falls count anywhere, whatever, and utilize the property inside and out, like the parking lot too or whatever. I feel you could have done that. Maybe not go on cinematic as the Funhouse match or the Boneyard match, but I feel like there were chances to really get creative, and they missed out on some of that. The one thing where I sit and go, the thing with the last man standing match worked, albeit too long, was a lot of times when they do those last man standing matches, you barely hear the crowd anyway because they're using the mics from the backstage area on the cameras. You just kind of hear the arena sounds in those matches. So that is one area where I felt that match kind of worked. And that's why I feel like they should have thought outside the box or used some more funky stipulations with this year's cards. Especially just because there's no crowd. Put them in, if there's no crowd, put them in situations where a crowd not being there doesn't matter. So I'm unlocking some players right now. Triple H versus Reigns is the most boring match. I'll put that on the boring 5, sure. Luther Reigns was better. So who do I unlock? Zach Levine of the Bulls. Andrew Wiggins of Minnesota. DeAndre Jordan, that's a good pickup. Clippers. JJ Barria. No, he's a Maverick. All right, so that could help me out. And James Johnson of the Heat. I've got a lot of guys on the Heat, so that's not bad. Give me a second. I'm going to run to the bathroom. Pardon me. Sorry about that. Sid versus Taker is up there. I agree. Yeah, JJ's pretty good. Oh, yeah, man, that Boss Man Taker match. That came all down to one spot. That was pretty shitty. And I mean, to be honest, when you're talking most boring matches in Mania history, like, if you go back, to the real early Manias, there's some shit on those cards. And some of those cards were pretty long for the time, too. 4 or 5 hours back then, even. Some of the real early cards. And then they kind of got it back. Then they kind of got it down to 3 hours, 3.5 maybe, for a while. But some of those real early ones, Had some real boring matches. Hannibal was in the crowd for Taker Bossman, and it was silent. I remember watching it, and it was silent. I remember watching, and that was late '90s prime Attitude Era, and I was with people that were totally into it. You know how everybody was back then, how everybody knew what wrestling was. Everybody got hyped for it. I knew the strangest of people that you would never assume would ever be into wrestling, but it got hot. And, they would have their own Raw parties with their friends or Nitro parties. Rick sent in his video for the Nitro party. I shared that. If you guys haven't seen that, that's sad. But, that was a hot period. The Taker was hot. And then they stick him in that match with a Boss Man. And, oh, God. Terrible. And it was all based around one spot. So we got Hannibal here. We got Bandy here. We got Bates here. This is another I'll ask you guys things, but I need it unanimous amongst the three of you. If you want to hear my ridiculous story from today, I need you all to be like, yes, I want to hear your ridiculous story. It has to be unanimous or I'm not going to get into it. Brain mode. Yes, that's part of it, Bandy. But I'll give the details. So I still need to hear all three of you say, yes, I need to hear it. Could be Malcolm. All right, Bandy says yes. Hannibal says yes. Waiting on Fab. It's a pretty hilarious story, so I need everybody in chat to say I want to hear the story, or yes, tell me the story. Fab says it. Lurker. Whoever's lurking in chat, is it you, Malcolm? Who's lurking in chat? I need you to just say, I want to hear the story, or sure. Do another game. Mavericks. Nuggets. Oh, Vito would get off on this story, I'm sure. Freaking sick freak. I am a sick freak. I am Vito. It is hilarious how tiny they make Seth Curry in this game. Look at him standing next to Dirk. And I know Dirk is a giant, but it's not like Seth is the tiniest guy in the world. Derek Harper is 2 inches taller than Seth. And look at him compared to Dirk. And then look at Seth. Harper's like half a foot taller. Oh, man, they got two legends on their team. They got Deke and they got Alex English. That's a good lineup for Denver. I will tell you guys a story while I play this game. And I don't care. It's hilarious. I don't give a shit. I would like to talk to Mary again. I don't know if that could happen tonight, Vito. I don't know if that could happen. Brain mode. I would like to take Mary. Do McDonald's. You can't do that now anyway, Vito. McDonald's doesn't allow dining in during the coronavirus.
What? Legendary player in the game today? This should be a good one. It's up, and there's the tip. Defense is running down that shot. Taking extra one for the first score.
But I want to talk to Mary. Sorry, Vito. It's not happening. She is all worn out after WrestleMania weekend. She thought WrestleMania was the worst thing ever and awesome. I don't know how she thought that, but she did. And then when you went on a tweet rampage, Don Vito, telling her she was a dumb beep, you kind of made her angry, so she doesn't want to talk to you right now.
Tell Don Vito I don't want to talk to him right now.
I already did, Mary. Sit in the corner, Mary. Oh, I thought I had that. Damn, 6-point shot. You guys still with me? I'll tell my story in a minute. Clank. All right, supercharged ball. I'm going all the way back here. Boom. All right, so yesterday was fairly low-key day, obviously, with everything with the COVID-19, not doing anything crazy. Trying to keep my distance and whatever. But the day before I had put laundry out on the clothesline. And my 5-10 minutes of being outside in the yard yesterday were taking the laundry off the line yesterday. Late yesterday afternoon. Went out, took the laundry off the line. No big deal, bring it in. Come in, a little while later, watch WrestleMania, chat with you guys. Laugh my ass off after WrestleMania with the whole Ultimate Rick thing, yada yada. Go to sleep. Wake up this morning. You wake up, you go to the bathroom. No, nothing wrong, nothing different going to the bathroom. And, I'm sitting. I've made over 100 calls since last Wednesday to the unemployment office trying to collect unemployment because I've been laid off as a result of coronavirus. So I make like 10 calls, 10, 15 minutes apart or whatever, maybe 20 on a few of them. Whatever. But I was up stupid early to do this shit. And I chatted late with you guys, as I said. And so I was tired and go and I lay down on the couch, take about an hour and a half nap. And I wake up and you know how sometimes you wake up and your buddy is hard and ready to go or whatever. And get up to go to the bathroom and expecting that I would have to, stand far back from the toilet, like way back from the toilet, because of everything going on. And I look down and I see this black thing on my dick. And I just got killed in this game. So I see this black thing on my dick and I'm like, what the fuck is that? Is that a scab? and then I see it moving. It was a fucking tick. It was burrowing into, and I'm not joking, burrowing into the main vein. I had a tick on my dick draining my main vein of blood, moving its legs, and I'm like, oh my god, what the fuck? And obviously coronavirus going on. Normally I would just go to like the urgent care at the hospital to have something like that taken care of, but that's not the case. So I'm like immediately looking up urgent cares online and calling them to find out if they take my insurance. Thankfully the first one I called is like, yeah, we'll take your insurance. So I go, and I mean, it's totally one of those embarrassing and hilarious things that you got to go get checked for. And everybody there is wearing the face masks and the goggles right now because of the virus and everything. And the doctor comes in with a pair of tweezers and grabs the thing and yanks it. One shot, it's gone. And I'm like, oh, thank God. I've gotten ticks before, but never on my freaking dick. So he gave me my script for doxycycline, which, if you're not aware, that's the medicine that you need to take if you get a tick bite, so that you don't get Lyme disease. But it was totally one of those things. And had the tick been anywhere else, I would have probably tried to get it out myself. But like, I was so freaked out, like that's on my shit, that it was like, dude, I don't want to mess up trying to pull this tick out and have half of it be lodged in my dick and run a higher chance of getting Lyme disease. So that was my afternoon. It was yeah. And I don't care that I'm sharing it with you guys, whatever, what the fuck ever. And I live up in the northernmost part of New York where, a lot of times at this point of the year, there's still snow on the ground, but it was a really short winter this year. And I've already read articles about how this is going to be a bad tick season. And I'm not joking. 5-10 minutes that I was out at the clothesline, which is near tree line, near the trees, near the woods. And evidently this fucker jumped on me. So yeah, I'm usually really conscientious about ticks because I hike a lot. When I go hiking, I always do a tick check after and take a shower after and throw my clothes outside so that this shit doesn't happen. I also spray my hiking clothes with a thing called permethrin, which if a tick lands on your clothes, it fucking dies the second it touches your clothes. But man, this little fucker, she gave me the blowjob that I was not looking forward to or expecting this morning. So yeah. But yeah, that was pretty unreal. Look down and see the little black thing down there and its legs squirming around. And ticks, if you're unaware, they look for hot spots on your body, like your groin, your armpits. I have a buddy that got Lyme because a tick went inside of his ear, gorged itself inside of his ear, and that's super creepy. Mine might be creepier, but inside the ear would probably be like the second most creepiest spot to end up with a tick. And if I grossed you all out and scared you away from chat, I apologize. But yeah, that was my fucked up thing of the day. The BJ I was not expecting. The BJ I did not want. I did not want this gal draining my main vein. Do a 3-point contest, quick. Pre-mode. Pre-mode. And I mean, if you ever meet somebody that totally sucks at life, like Don Vito or something, you should just nickname them Tick because they suck. Bandy, I've seen your comments. I might have scared off Hannibal and Bates with that story. And if I did, I don't blame them, and I'm sorry if that was too much. If that was too much information. But it was definitely, like I said, one of the most freaking are you kidding me crazy weird things to happen to me sort of thing. And like I said, I was only outside, taking the clothes off the line for 5-10 minutes yesterday. I didn't think this early in the year, the first week of April, that just going out to the edge of the property that I'd have to take all the steps to make sure that you don't have a tick on you. Now I know. And I'm going to let the other people in the building know, hey, if you're hanging out in the yard, you might want to check yourself. And if you're not aware as well, the worst points of the year in regards to ticks on the East Coast are the first few months of spring. That's when ticks are looking to breed. Then in the summer, generally like Maine summer, like mid-June, July, early mid-August, usually there aren't as many ticks at that time of the year. But then thereafter, their babies have grown to the adult stage or whatever. And the fall, they can be really terrible as well. So right now till early June, it's one of those things where you got to be aware of them. If you're out in fields or out in the woods, meadows, these are places where they hang out. And then, like I said, around mid-August through fall until snowfall comes, you got to be aware of them as well. And crazy thing is in this area as well, there in the winter, there is such a thing as snow ticks. They're much more rare, but they are a thing. All right, I see Fab saying mine aren't showing up. Maybe it's his Wi-Fi. Hannibal says no. I would have freaked out and haven't gone to get help because I wouldn't want to wipe my out. So I'm not fully sure what you're saying. So you're saying you wouldn't go get checked out? You'd kind of try to take care of it yourself? Like I said, if it had been on any other part of my body, I would have tried to take it out myself and then contacted the doctor to be like, yo, give me doxycycline. Because like I said, I've gotten ticks before. I know if you get the doxycycline right away, you're good to go. Generally, I mean, I've got to be aware over the next 2 weeks if I start feeling fevers, if I start seeing rashes or ringworm looking shit, that I got to go back and get more medicine. Odds are I don't because I was on it. But yeah, dude, type it again. It's all good. I can take a minute here. But yeah, it definitely was a freaking mind fuck for sure. Wake up from my nap, go in and take a leak, and oh my god, is that a scab? How did I get a? That's not a scab. It's moving. Almost horror movie stuff. Like I said, I'm upstate New York. Hannibal, I think you get a grasp of how big New York is and whatever. I'm up near the Canadian border. I'm up in the northernmost part of the Adirondack Mountains. So, for them to be out like this early in the year, yikes. She was trying to thrive on my main vein. She was going to town on my main vein. She was engorged. By the point I got to the hospital, or not the hospital, the doctor's office, excuse me. I mean, fat tick and, obviously full of my blood. And the gross thing about them is they suck your blood in, digest it, and obviously they're tiny, so they digest it quickly. And then they essentially like shit it back into you. And if they have Lyme, it's right then and there in your blood system. Usually they need to be attached to you for about 24 to 36 hours for them to really get the Lyme into you. But I've also read other sources where, no, they don't need to be attached to you that long. It could be as short as literally 2-3 hours where they're on you. And that's enough for them to pump enough shit back into your bloodstream and give you Lyme disease. Don Vito wants to know if the tick has a sister. I'm sure the tick has a sister. I am sure of it. He probably would have liked it. He probably would have let it just keep going at it. And then, like, when it was ready to, like, dislodge, he probably would have, like, put it in a jar. I would put it in a jar and call her Maisie and let her attach herself to me 2 or 3 times a week. I would let her do that. You're a disgusted freak, Don Vito. Yeah, and no joke, Bandy, right on the main vein. On the main vein. This fucker. And ticks are arachnids. So, I mean, shortly after getting home, it felt like a spider bite, and yeah, great. She definitely found the key blood source in the hot spot. Does she have 3 sisters? Get out of here, you freak. Bates, are ticks as prevalent in the area that you live as they are here? Because they are a mess. Ticks are such a problem in New York, New England, and Pennsylvania. Major problem in the northeastern United States. So I'm curious if in your area of Canada, if they're a problem. I know they're in New Jersey where Hannibal lives. I don't know exactly the extent of them. I'm assuming it's similar to here, but probably not quite as bad. And Lyme disease is one of those things you don't want to fuck with. That's if you want every sort of side effect or random thing that can happen to you. Lyme disease is that disease for you. I was listening to this thing on CBC, Canadian Broadcast Company. Bates obviously knows what that is. CBC out of Montreal about a year ago.
It is an honor.
And they were interviewing this guy up there in Montreal who went undiagnosed with Lyme disease for long enough that it screwed him up so bad he can't read anymore. He can communicate, he can talk and have total normal conversations with you, but if you put words in front of this guy, he can't read them anymore. That whole basic thing that we all have learned how to read when we were young, it's gone. He can't, you could take a third grader and they can read. This guy who's a full-blown adult can't read. So yeah, Lyme disease, it's a grab bag of side effects and effects that can fuck you up seriously. So I totally, take dealing with ticks super seriously. Like I said, my hiking clothes, I always douse them with this thing called permethrin, which kills them on contact. So they aren't a big problem where Bates lives. All right, good for you. And I'm assuming they aren't as big of a problem for Bandy. But yeah, that was my fucked up story of the day. I'm going to do a 3-point contest here. I'm using Ray Allen of Celtics fame. I would take my tick and name her Maisie. And when she has a baby, I would name it Mary Helen. Don Vito, you are a sick fuck.
Three, two, one, go. Off the rip. That's extra time. Knocks it down.
Went 5 for 5 on my first set. I missed my first shot. My 8th shot, I missed. I missed 10th shot.
That shot was on target.
Lighting it up with Ray Allen. This is awesome. I could probably miss every shot on purpose from here on out.
The money ball. The score starting to reveal the story of this game. A mismatch.
I've missed 3 shots. 4. 5.
You got the 3. You scored extra time. Off the mark. One in the blue zone is going on. Play some defense. Extra time.
This is a Larry Bird 1986, 1987 3-point competition performance level here out of Ray Allen. Wow, 27 points. I've never scored that many.
2, 1, go.
Terrified of snakes. I'm not. I love snakes. I don't mind picking them up or anything like that. Believe it or not, and it's actually just down the road from here. I've posted quite a few pictures recently of different hikes that I've done there recently. There's a mountain called Rattlesnake Mountain, which it's the northern extent of the timber rattlesnake. I've never seen one there, but they do live there. There's a bunch of rocky outcrops that they love. Rattlesnakes love rocky areas. They can go out on them and sun themselves. And then there's another spot just a little further down the road called the Split Rock Wild Forest, which is home to Split Rock Mountain. And that, I guess, that spot, I've only been there once in the winter to hike, but I guess there they are really prevalent in the summertime. So yeah, if I heard the of a rattlesnake, I would definitely probably be like, all right, I'm definitely not going near that fucking thing. But any of the other snakes that I run into in the area, they don't freak me out or anything. I'll pick them up and move them out of the way or whatever. Garter snakes, they don't scare me at all. I like snakes. I think they're pretty awesome. I definitely would love to see a rattlesnake hiking or whatever, but I would want to be a safe distance from it. And usually, from what I understand with rattlesnakes, is they hear you and sense you well before you hear them and sense them. And I've watched videos and whatever. They're loud, so you should be able to go, hey, oh man, I just heard that there's a rattlesnake nearby. But I would like to see one, not be 3 feet away from one, more like 12, 15 feet away from one. I think that would be cool. You think there's only garter snakes around here? Yeah, I don't mind them. And I've actually picked up a few big ones of them. Like I said, they don't freak me out at all. And they're easy to identify with those 2 green stripes that go down their back. Aside from the tick, I think the only animal in recent memory that freaked me out was a bear this past summer. I've actually had a number of encounters with bears through the years. My normal encounters have always gone, oh, I see a bear, I make noise, and it runs away. Just make some noise. They don't want to deal with you. They don't want to fuck with you or anything like that. I was hiking last summer, really backwoods stuff. It was a 17-mile day. It was getting late. I was hiking on my way back. I had about 4 miles to go back to my car. And I was, like I said, 4 miles or so about away from the car, still pretty backwoods, in an area where bears are known to be aggressive. 7 o'clock is about when they come out and they're really looking to find food. And we were near a lean-to, which, if you're unaware, is just like a basic shelter that if you get there first, you can camp out there if you want or whatever. They have 3 walls. And part of the problem is at these lean-tos, people don't bring bear cans and they're sloppy with their food. So bears have kind of become accustomed to realizing, hey, if I go around here, I can find food at nighttime. And I come down this hill, and I was with someone else, and coming down this hill, and bam, I turn a corner, and there's this big fucking 400-pound bear about 15 feet away from me. And it was doing stupid bear shit. I could tell. But the second it saw me, it jumped, and it was on all fours. And I start making noise. And because I had come down this hill and turned a corner, I wasn't in a situation where I could really back off, which is one of the things you can do, make noise and back off. So I start, I just keep making noise and telling, get the fuck out of here. You got to go. You got to go. bear, you gotta go. And this thing just keeps getting pissed, and it starts ground pounding with its paws. And I was like, oh my God. And I'm like, it's me and this bear. The other person is behind me. She's freaking out, but she's staying calm, which was great. Because you do need to stay calm in those situations. And it just starts making these snot noises. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And it bluff charged me. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm gonna fucking die. Totally did a bluff charge. And I keep making noise and standing my ground. And the thing was not fucking happy about it at all. But it started to walk off. It bluff charged me again. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? I'm dead. But for whatever reason, it decided to keep walking. And we stood there for 10 minutes watching this freaking thing lumber off further into the woods. And we kept yelling at it at that point. Just get out of here, bear. Get the fuck out of here. You need to go home. Go home now. And ultimately, it was far enough off. We walked the next 4 miles with our heads literally with an eye over our shoulder the entire time. It was really fucking intense. And no joke, only 4 days before I was over on the other side of the Adirondack, 5 days before I was over on the other side of the Adirondacks, and I camped a night in this random state forest. I was en route to going to a music festival, a 3-day music festival. So I didn't want to drive the whole time, but or drive a full shot. So I drove out the night before, set up my tent, and I took a little walk and it was dark out, and I started singing a song, and I hear this rustling, and I turn, and I had my headlamp on, and I see the big fat ass of a bear running off away from the road into the woods. And so it was as simple as that. I just sang a little song and scared the shit out of this bear literally 5 days before. And then I ended up having this bear encounter that ended up being super freaking intense. So that was wild. You got cougars, Fab One. We don't have them here. Every now and then somebody will get one on a trail cam, but it's like the one stray one that came all the way from where you live to here. I don't worry about cougars at all where I live. I love cougars too, but not the animal. Well, I mean, I think the animal is groovy, but I know what Hannibal means. Some hot cougars are not a bad thing. Oh, okay. So Bates, you have a cousin that has a trail cam and caught a picture of a cougar. That's wild, man. Like I said, we don't really get them here. Once in a while, you get a stray one that travels from the west that ends up here, realizes things are too noisy, and then they probably just go back west. We have lynx, which I've never seen one of them in the wild, but I have seen live lynx up at the Biodome in Montreal. Steve Francis, Wesley Matthews, all repeat cards. That's not bad. Harry Giles, Enos Cantor. I thought I unlocked him already. Oh, maybe I unlocked him for another team. Ben McLemore. So I just unlocked a pack. Bandy, are you still hanging out in chat? We got Hannibal here. We got Bates here. Bandy lives where like the real crazy animals are. He's got rattlers and all sorts of snakes out there and cougars, bears. Ah, you are here. Hi, Bandy. Hi, boys. I don't know. I think I'm done with basketball for the moment. What else do we got? The Super Nintendo. Bree mode. Bree mode. All right, I'm going to play one more game. Then I'll go pull my guitar out. It's in the other room. I'm not going to tune it up, but I will play a song if you guys want me to. And I know you guys said you want me to, so I will do that after playing one more game for a few more minutes. Mario Kart. Yeah, Bandy, have you ever had a close encounter with a rattlesnake? Like I said, I would like to see one from like 15 feet away. I'm going to do F-Zero. Bree mode.
Oh my gosh, I think I heard something.
What's that, Mary Helen?
I think I heard Bree mode.
No, you didn't.
Bree mode.
Mary Helen, calm down.
Look, there's so much dust under my belt that I'm just going to sit and take every advantage that I can to think about the Bellas and Bree mode.
No, not on this show.
But it's my mode.
I don't care. Yes, and we took it, threw it on a broken grill, and lit firecrackers on it. Should have lit it up, cut it up, and eaten it on crackers. Thrive off that snake. Suck the venom out of it rather than let it bite you and suck the venom out of you, or have to suck the venom out of you. Hannibal lives in New Jersey, which, aside from being a cesspool, is also home to one of the nastiest creatures a human could ever run into, El Chupacabra, the Jersey Devil, El Chupacabra. And I think Hannibal's okay with me making jokes about Jersey because I know he jokes about Jersey. I haven't been to Jersey in a minute, but yeah, it's Jersey. You do have Liv Morgan. And I won't argue with her being goddess tier because she is goddess tier. So I'm all for her being goddess tier. Personally think Alexa Bliss is the WZF champion. That being said, I do think Mandy Rose has earned her shot at being number one contender on the WZF tier list for a matchup against Liv. Especially, god damn, that outfit last night on Mania. Wow. She looked great. She looked great. Am I right or am I right? It's a horrible place to live. It's also a horrible place to spend a night or three in a cheap hotel, which I have done. Oh no, I forgot which button to hit. There we go. Fuck out of my way, purple car. Mandy is no Judy Bagwell. I gotta disagree. And while I am thankful for everything that Judy Bagwell has done for the business, I can't put her in the same class as Mandy, Alexa, or Liv. God damn. Dickwad Greengar. F-Zero is one of my all-time favorite Super Nintendo games. I love this game. I also had a random F-Zero game that came out for the Game Boy Advance. And that game was pretty good. It had a story mode, which was kind of like a bunch of bullshit. But the actual racing aspect held true to the Super Nintendo. I'm in first place. I'm using the classic blue car. Oh no, that wasn't good. Trash. I shouldn't have looked over to read that. All right, Bandy, I will admit that Judy Bagwell being on a pole was one of the finest prizes that anyone in the history of wrestling could have won. How about that? How about that? And I'm not going to say that Otis won Mandy last night. Mandy chose Otis last night, which that's beautiful as well. Maximum velocity. Snooki. Ugh. Snooki had a WrestleMania moment. I guess that could be said as a positive for this year's Mania. There was no Snooki. That era, they had the most random freaking jerk-offs showing up, too. They were in the middle of that whole guest host thing, guest GM thing. Just desperate for anyone to give them, like, the slightest bit of attention. Not that they aren't now, they are. It is hilarious, though, that was one of the impetuses for John Morrison to quit. And if you guys had asked about John Morrison during the Keeper Cut segment earlier, oh, man, I'm cutting that guy. He's freaking useless. Cool, you can do some flippy stuff. He's worthless on the mic. Ugh. Go try to revive Lucha Underground or something. Ugh. His wife is better than him. Taya Valkyrie is better than John Morrison at this point. And that's facts. F-A-X. Facts. Morrison. Ugh. Another guy they signed just so that he's not somewhere else, just so that he doesn't go to AEW, is really it. That's the one they don't want people going to, is AEW. But talk about a guy who is utter trash under the WWE system. That is John Morrison. Although I do agree with Hannibal, Morrison provided Miz with the Miz's greatest WrestleMania moment the other night by competing in a singles triple threat ladder match and winning the tag team titles for Miz, even though Miz is nowhere to be seen and who knows when he'll show up ever again. But God, if you had asked Keeper Cut Morrison, I would have told you, cut him. Let that guy go. And I'm deeply invested in this race right now, so I can't tell if you guys are yelling at me for saying get rid of Morrison or not, but I'd get rid of him. Up until last night, Snooki had more WrestleMania victories than Bray Wyatt. That's true. And only last night did Bray Wyatt take the lead on having more acid trips at WrestleMania than Snooki. Hi. Who do we have here? In the WZF studio. Who do we have here right now? Hi. Who are you? I'm John Morrison. Oh, God. John Morrison joined us. How are you, John? I'm doing all right. Doing all right, John, huh? Yeah. You successfully defended the tag team titles in a match that was not a tag team match the other night. How do you feel about that? Feeling all right, Lou. Thanks for having me here. Well, John Morrison, you are not expected to be a guest here on tonight's live stream, but I guess we will put up with you. So, what's it like being friends with a Miz? Miz is a friend. We're friends. Well, okay. What's it like having a hot wife? It's kind of nice having a hot wife. Having a nice hot lady in my life for once. You were banging Melina for a while. She was pretty hot. Yes. She was hot. And when I was banging her, she was also banging half the roster, namely Batista. He counts as half the roster. Ah. So I noticed you didn't come back to the WWE until Batista was fully retired and in the Hall of Fame. Well, that's just coincidence. Is it really? Yeah. John, I don't know if I believe that. I also have to say, somehow, you are a more boring guest than Don Vito and Mary Helen Clark combined. Well, yeah, that makes sense. All right, John. I'm trying to do you a favor here, and I'm going to tell you right now, it's time for you to leave our studio and never come back. All right. I hear that a lot. I'm sure you do, John Morrison. Thanks for stopping by. Actually, I'm not thanking you for stopping by. Never stop by again, John Morrison. Get out of here. All right. I'm out of here. That was John Morrison, everybody. He's boring. God, he's boring. Oh no. I was doing so good in that race. Now, if we could get John Morrison's wife in here on in the studio, that would be interesting. I think we could all ask her a lot of very good questions, get a lot of good responses, and talk to her about what her favorite gifts are. I bet Taya Valkyrie, Mrs. John Morrison, I bet she has a burner account. I bet Mrs. Valkyrie has a burner account. And she goes on to different websites and she posts some really good pictures and gifts. I bet she does. John Morrison was a world champion? Really? And you're saying it was because Chris Benoit, the whole Chris Benoit thing. Really? Okay, so I'm not going to lie. Somewhere in the mid 2000s, mid 2000s, I lost interest in WWE altogether, completely altogether. And I was out of the loop for quite a few years, going on 5 years, in the ballpark of 5 years. I would check sites like WrestleZone and other news sites or whatever, but I did not watch much at all. Occasionally, if I was sitting at home randomly, and I'm flipping, I might leave wrestling on for a few minutes, but I swear to God, I did not watch much wrestling in that period. Let's roll with like 2005 to 2009. And I know that a lot of people love it, but for me, I had lost a lot of love for what was going on at that point. And, I was in my mid 20s during those years. So I feel like I was doing more interesting things than sitting at home and watching wrestling, at the same point when it would be on. I'd be hanging out with friends or playing shows or going to shows, yada, yada. So I didn't watch much during that period at all. Like, it was a legit 4 or 5 year break from wrestling. So if he was champion, God, I fucking don't remember it at all. And oddly enough, the thing that pulled me back in, I guess I shouldn't say oddly enough, because it really was fucking awesome when it happened. But the thing that pulled me back in was the Nexus. God damn, if there has ever been a bigger case of a ball being dropped than the Nexus, I don't freaking know. Because, damn, they screwed up every guy in that group except for Daniel Bryan. How the freaking hell do you screw up a guy like Wade Barrett? How the hell do you screw up Wade Barrett? But man, they sure as fuck did, and it didn't take them long either. What, a few months? Man, guy could talk, had the look, was great in the ring. God, I was so into the Nexus, and that got me back into it, and somehow I hung on, and here I am almost 10 years later, or even 10 years later. And to me, there hasn't been a storyline as cool as the Nexus in those 10 years. Why am I still watching? Oh, okay. Morrison was ECW champion. All right. That makes some sense. All right. John Morrison sounded like a chode. John Morrison sounded like a primo chode. Yeah. Bandy says he stopped watching wrestling for a while after Eddie died. Got back into it when Punk went to WWE, but had to stop again when Benoit died. It was hard. Didn't watch again until Jericho comes back. So, all right. So you were off and on in the time period that I'm talking about. You were kind of off and on in your viewing in that period where I'm talking about, I guess, give or take, a little leeway here. Yeah, no, I hear you. It was a tough time to be a fan, in my opinion. And I'm a guy that, I've been watching since I was 4 years old. I'm 38 years old. And I don't know. There was so much schlock around, and I mean, I'm not exact on the dates, but around 2005, where it was like, I don't even care about watching this shit anymore. Like, I would check the news sites or whatever. But that was about it. And, I'd watch, I think I watched all or most of the WrestleManias during that point, because I did still have friends that were into it and they would have parties. So I'd go over for those, but I'm not joking. Like, the regular every week, the weekly shows I didn't watch. I had no interest. I did see just a little bit of the WWE ECW because that was still hanging around somehow when Nexus debuted. But in terms of like the stuff that went on during then, all I know is like the stuff that I read on different sites. WrestleView and Lords of Pain were Fab One's pages of choice back in the day. I don't remember WrestleView off the top of my head. That's not saying I never clicked on it. Lords of Pain has been around forever. I do remember checking them back in the time in that time period. I can't even exactly remember some of the pages I used to go to. Did any of you guys used to frequent WrestleCrap at all? Back in the day, WrestleCrap was awesome. It's kind of become lame over the past 5-10 years, in my opinion. But way back, early 2000s, mid 2000s, even when I wasn't watching, I would love going to WrestleCrap. That was a really fun wrestling page. All right, so Fab would occasionally check out WrestleCrap. Yeah, that was always good for a laugh as far as I was concerned. And I go and I check it out every now and then. Now it's not the same, unfortunately. And I mean, I also get the thing that, times have changed. We have pages like Kayfabe News, which are really freaking funny. It's, WrestleCrap was definitely the innovator in the pre-Kayfabe News for sure. But, I get it. At the same point, it's tough to stay funny for 20 years. So, I get that. But they had a good, I want to say 10-year run. And part of the thing that like killed WrestleCrap was around 10 years ago, they had a whole split. And I don't fully understand it to this day. They used to have a really great forum on WrestleCrap. Just a forum where you could go and shit post about WrestleCrap or anything, anything you wanted. And it was great. And they had a split or something, and the forum became its own independent thing, the freaking awesome network forum. And I actually hung around on that for a few years. My old handle was Todd Pettingill, because Todd was the local radio DJ when I grew up. And I chose him as my WrestleCrap alias, and I kept it after the forum split off. And once it split off, it it was like the pre Nick Paglino and Justin LaBar forum, where you couldn't say something that the mods disagreed with. And I hung around on that for maybe 2 years, 3 years, and got the fuck off that thing. But I would definitely say that was the whole split, the whole whatever the fuck went on with the guys that ended up running the forums or whatever, really fucking killed that site. Did I ever get involved with any e-feds? No, I never got involved in any of that at all. So I know what it's about, but I've never gotten involved with that. I'm going to get off the screen just because it looks like shit. Never got involved in any e-feds. RSPW. I'm blanking on what RSPW was. Give me a second. I'm going to run to the bathroom. I'll bring the guitar back into this room so that I can play a song for you guys in a few minutes or whatever. But give me a second. Yeah, I'm going to run to the bathroom and yeah, do that. Pre-mode. If I'm correct, I'm back. An e-fed is kind of where you create your own characters and you involve real wrestling characters as well. And there's a whole booking aspect to it, wins and losses and whatever, and storylines. If I'm correct, Bandy might be able to correct me on that in the chat, but I'm quite sure that's what an e-fed is. I'm going to play one quick game and then I'll play you guys a song and finish up tonight's stream. It's almost 2:30 here. Yeah. Sounds like a plan for me. Do you guys have any preference on what SNES game I try here? A lot of these I've actually never played. Super Mario World I've obviously played. Mario Kart as well. Zelda. Played that too. Like, I don't even know what the hell this game that I have highlighted is. It has a Japanese name. Star Fox is another one I played a lot of through the years. So if you want me to play one of these random ones, I'll give it a shot. Poppin' Twinbee. Bandy says the one that I was with, everyone created their own characters. You had a few people who were head bookers, and you would write your promos, and certain people would write matches for all the shows. So yeah, that's exactly kind of what I'm getting at. Yeah. Have another drink quick. All right, what if I play Super Punch Out and fight Gabby J and maybe the next guy after him, and then I'll play a song and wrap the night up after that. Does that sound good? Pre mode.
Oh my gosh, I think I heard someone say pre mode.
What the fuck are you talking about, Mary?
I think I heard someone say pre mode.
I don't know what you're talking about, Mary. Get out of here. Go take care of your kids for once, Mary. eFeds. Bandy says you would have your pay-per-views and titles and all sorts of stuff, and it was fun because you got a chance to be creative. That's what I remember about them. Like I said, I never partook. A gazillion years ago, me and my buddy used to kind of write stuff like an eFed, but it was just me and him writing that stuff back and forth in emails. But to call it an eFed would be too much because it wasn't. It was just us kind of goofing around because we didn't live near each other anymore. It was just bullshit that we could do. Pre-mode. All right, so I'm going to play a little Super Punch Out, and then I'll play a song to wrap up the stream for the night. I think that sounds like a good plan. And I love this game. I love Punch Out in general. I love the original arcade Punch Out, which was like this weird 3D thing with a bunch of screens. I obviously love Mike Tyson's Punch Out for the Nintendo Entertainment System. And I think the Wii version of Punch Out was fantastic. If they could make a Switch version, that would be great. But this one was really good too. Super Punch Out. It really is a great game. The only thing that really bugs me about this, all right, there's two things that bug me, I guess, on this game. Is one, you're playing as Little Mac, but Little Mac looks nothing like Little Mac of any of the other games at all. And the other thing that bothers me is like guys using moves that are totally not allowed in boxing. I know there's a point where you get to a Japanese or Chinese guy, and he hits you with his club. Like, get the fuck out of here. That ain't boxing. Like, come on. I mean, I'm willing to let the luchador guy that you fight in this game, I'm willing to let him headbutt you, slide. But, you know, the guy that uses the club, and there's another guy that it might even be the same guy that does drop kicks on you. Like, get out of here. You can't kick in regular boxing. Ugh. But it is a great game, and it falls in line with the punch outs. But I don't understand why they made Little Mac look so different from all the other games. Don Vito got knocked out by Glass Joe. Well, get ready, because I haven't played this game in a minute, and there's a chance I get knocked out by Gabby J. But I'm feeling good and should maybe beat him. Yay. Brain mode. Okay. Trying to figure out my buttons. Come on. I don't know what to hit my star punch. Oh, it's that button. I don't like how the buttons are set up here on the Wii for whatever reason. X is your left hand, and B is your right hand. I'd rather it be X and Y as your left and rights. He's down for the count or down once. Look at that. Look at how much energy he took out. Oh my God, he just knocked me down. Are you kidding me? SVR stream, Bandy versus Lou. That would be cool. I do think it would be cool if one night we could do alternate commentary for Raw or a pay-per-view or SmackDown. We're going to figure out the streaming thing from two different places. We are going to figure that out. So that was not the greatest fight against Gabby J, but I got through it. Oh God, this guy's gonna kill me. Yeah, he's gonna kill me. Canadian bear hugger. So if he kills me, which I'm expecting, we'll finish up with the games and I'll play a song quick and wrap the stream up, if that's all right with everybody. It's getting late for me. Yeah, there's so many ideas for streams. We just got to figure it all out. And I don't feel like there's a mega rush for it either. You know what I mean? I feel like if we're going to go... That's it. I feel like if we're going to do the multi-stream, let's freaking do it right. You know what I mean? No, you were supposed to uppercut him. There it is. Ooh, I got a few extra punches in on him there. I am loving the whole streaming idea, and I know mine, video-wise, doesn't look as good as yours, Bandy. I'm not going to go out and buy one of those cards at this point for the Switch or whatever that you need to stream Switch games. Not yet, at least. Trying not to do any wasteful spending right now. Wow, I beat him real quick. I thought he was going to kill me. I think the fake Piston Honda guy is next. Yep, Piston Hurricane. All right, he'll probably knock me out, and then we'll move on to the song. Oh, God, yeah. Ugh. This is ugly. Are you guys still there? I'm going to wrap this up. We're going to do the song after this match because I'm losing this thing. I'm positive I'm going to lose to this fucker. Yep, there it is. All right, so that's it. I'm going to find just a random ass picture. Oh, this picture is perfect. Did I take this picture? I don't know. But come on, that picture is perfect for some WZF stuff. Give me a second to just readjust a few things. I'm going to flip the light on in here as well. With my ghetto setup, I have the light off when I stream so that the screen of the TV looks better. But let me just set up the mic stand. My guitar is not tuned at all. And I gotta flip the light on and grab my pick. Trying to do a quick tune for you. Tune up. So I can play the tune for you. Tuned enough. These strings are at least 6 months old. I hope it sounds all right for you guys. Went to the mall today, bought a new suit, baby. Matched the hat made of fruit best friend Gary gave me. There ain't nothing like, see no danger inside. No one looks as good as you tonight. see the bloodhound gang. Well, there ain't nothing like rest of our life. And no one looks as good as you tonight. Wrote a new tune today, studio baby. Song everybody like, relevant to the time. Well, ain't nothing like rest of our lives. And no one looks as good as you tonight. All right, all right, all right, all right, all right, all right. All right, I was a little nervous and rushed through that. Not the greatest. But all right, maybe I'll do one more. I don't know. I love playing Taylor Swift. Maybe I'll do that. I stay out too late. Don't want too many dates. I can make them stay. I can make them stay. Whoa, not too many dates. Make them stay. That's what people say. Whoa, that's what people say. Whoa, but I keep cruising. Can't stop, won't stop grooving. It's like I got this music in my mind saying it's gonna be alright. Cause the player's gonna play, and the hater's gonna hey. I'm just gonna shake it off, heartbreaker's gonna break, and the hater's gonna hey. I'm just gonna shake it off, I'm landing on my feet. I never miss a beat. That's no feeling. Whoa, that's a good feeling. Whoa, yeah, I'm dancing on my own. Taking moves up as I go. That's what they don't know. Whoa, that's what they don't know. Whoa, and the player's gonna play, and the hater's gonna and shake it. Shake it. My ex-man brought his girlfriend. She's like, oh my God, tell her there I'm shake it off, shake it off, wow, shake it off, shake it off, wow, shake it off, shake it off, wow, shake it off, wow, shake it off, wow. Four non-blondes. Oh wait, let me see if I can remember that. Ah, Bates. I do know that one. I gotta think. Four non-blondes. Scream the top of my lungs, what's going on? That's not it. Freebird. Sweet home Alabama, where the skies are so blue. Sweet home Alabama, Lord, I'm coming home to you. Muscle shows us got the swampers. They can pick a song or two. Neil Young, fuck the governor. Nothing more that I can do. Sweet home Alabama, where the skies are so blue. Sweet home Alabama, Lord, I'm coming home to you. Red, white, and blue. Buzzed up, playing really quick on my guitar. I don't trying to think of another song that I was messing it up. I'm totally in the wrong timing. No, I'm not doing that. buzzed up. My guitar's busted up. Sitting in a totally awkward position. Trying to play music. Should have played the music earlier. Guess I didn't. Thank you guys for tuning in. I will see you tomorrow at WZF. Have a great night. Love you all. Bandy, are you streaming tomorrow or am I streaming tomorrow? That's what we got to figure out. It wasn't the best. It wasn't very good. It was meh. But it was hurried. I was definitely hurried. It felt hurried. And I don't know. You guys got me nervous. But it's because I love you guys. So have a great night. Love you guys. Catch you tomorrow. Felt on the spot.